Are you an espresso martini lover or a gin and tonic fan? Well, today we're diving deep into the art of crafting coffee liqueur and infusing gin with Douglas fir for an intoxicatingly fresh and crisp flavor. California Live's Jobeth Devera takes us inside St. George's Spirits in Alameda, a true pioneer of the American craft distilling movement long before it was a trend.
When you walk into St. George Spirits Distillery in Alameda, you may experience a warm, inviting scent of freshly roasted coffee, or maybe you'll smell pears or chili peppers, and possibly catch the scent of crisp pine needles. There's always something being crafted, and this morning, the crew is busy making coffee liqueur and gin infused with Douglas fir. This distillery opened in 1982. Tell us about its start and who's Jorg?
Good God, you've done your homework. So Jorg is the founder of St. George Spirits. He was a German gentleman, is a German gentleman who came to the United States with the Ministry of Culture from Germany, came here to study law at Berkeley. And when he got here, he fell in love with the Bay Area, fell in love with a lot of the things that we have available, and decided he wanted to stick around.
Okay.
His family had been generations of brewers and distillers in the Black Forest of Germany. When he saw the amazing fruit that was available here, he decided to start up an eau-de-vie distillery.
This is what the distillery looked like when Jorg first started creating his spirits here in 1982. A 400 square foot space that eventually transformed into this 65,000 square foot facility.
This one's, I think, about 6,000 gallons. The one next to it is 4,000 gallons. We've got them ranging up to 13,600 gallons. Small on some industry standards, but they're also used for doing infusions.
You personally have an incredible story. Nuclear engineer for the U.S. Navy turned master distiller. Tell me about that transition.
You make it sound like it was an overnight thing, and it wasn't. I got out of the Navy and I started brewing beer. While I was doing that, a buddy of mine gave me a bottle of Lagavulin single malt whiskey, and I tried that. I was blown away by it. I thought, this is so delicious. It was the first spirit that I tried that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I started reading about it. I started reading about how whiskey was produced, and one of the things I found out was that whiskey starts essentially as beer. It's then distilled and barrel aged, and I thought, I want to learn the rest of this.
Yeah. Lance brought a bottle of homemade whiskey to Jorg 28 years ago as his so-called resume. He's been here ever since and was even inducted into the Whiskey Hall of Fame last year.
And we've just done a coffee infusion. We're pulling that off of this 3,000 gallon tank right now. We're at the very end of it.
And imagine capturing the taste of Douglas fir. This is another one of the intriguing infusions here.
When I was picking up my son Franklin, I was picking up my son Franklin, who at the time was, I think, about 5 years old. He's 25 now. I was picking him up from summer camp. The smell of that summer camp was amazing. I'm smelling pine trees. I'm smelling California bay laurel, forest floor mulch, wild fennel, things like that. I'm like, I want to distill something that smells like this. And the category that fit into the best was gin. We end up going up to a ranch that's in Ukiah. This is a ranch that's thousands of acres, and it has a lot of old growth redwood trees on it. Those redwood trees would be in danger if the Douglas fir that grow low in the forest, below the canopy of the redwoods, were allowed to grow, because they are tinder for forest fires.
Wow.
If you have a lot of that undergrowth removed, a fire can come through and the redwoods are protected because they've got really thick bark. But if you've got a lot of those Douglas fir trees in there, they'll burn really hot and they can burn through that. So we work with the ranch managers to go through, clear out that Douglas fir, and bring back literal thousands and thousands of pounds of Douglas fir needles to be able to infuse and then distill to be able to make the terroir.
While helping the environment. All right, Lance, moment of truth. Cheers.
All right, let's taste some terroir gin.
Gin. Ooh. The pine, the forest,
I want you to get the whole forest. I mean, we work in orris root and angelica root to be able to get forest floor, and cinnamon to be able to get that really beautiful dusty sweetness like you get from a trail. I came here to make whiskey, and then I fell in love with just really well-made distilled spirits.